Welcome, everybody, to another spectacular episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast. I am your host, Xavier. With me is the usual suspect gang, as I like to call them. We've got Danny, our news guy.
What's up?
I've got our color commentary man, Anthony.
Hello.
And the young man with his young man insights, Zach, over in the corner.
Hello.
What's going on? And here at the Popcorn Watchlist, we love and celebrate our favorites in movies and TV. And boy, did we get a lot of stuff coming through San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend. And we were all feverishly watching and looking at all the live updates, live tweets, trailer drops that just came through. So what we're going to do is go over some quick little mini highlights before we hit the Mac Daddy motherload that was the Marvel Hall H takeover, and that basically just cemented their stance that they just took over Comic-Con this year. What do you guys think about that?
Incredible.
That they took over?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
they came
yeah.
back and just said, this is our house.
Whenever
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
there, they make an impact.
Absolutely. I'm really super... It's almost like a sort of a... It's like refreshing to see things kind of getting back to normal. It's just, because we're used to the digital stuff from D23. So then we finally get back and we see everybody coming back with their kind of their big announcements. Hall H is historically known for some big, massive reveals, some fun interactions with the crowd, and just the great crowd reaction. So
Massive crowds.
massive crowd. Yeah, I mean, Anthony and I have sort of been to Comic-Con one year, and Hall H is no joke. It's pretty big. And so to get an entire audience just completely bought in, and then getting some fun little goodies at the same time that are exclusive to the panel makes it really fun. But what I'd want to do first is kind of go down the line so that all the viewers and listeners listen in and figure out what the most fun non-Marvel news that you guys picked up on that you wanted to share and just kind of recap for everybody. Or not recap, but just what you found favorite, exciting. Let's do it. So let me start out. Let's start with Anthony, because this one came out of a little bit of left field, and that was pretty exciting.
All right. The one that I want to talk about is John Wick 4. Because we've been waiting. It got delayed last year. Because for some reason, after a lot of movies were delayed, it was going to come out the same exact day as The Matrix 4, which made no sense.
That would have been crazy.
That he would have been competing with himself. But they delayed it, but more than a year, and it's coming out next March.
Yeah, it's still too
Next
long.
March,
I need
yeah.
it now.
And it was a small trailer. It was a teaser trailer, and the teaser trailer is enough. It's just enough to show you that it's still badass, still a lot of action. And yeah, they keep adding talent to these movies. Every movie they keep raising the bar. They have Donnie Yen in there.
Yeah, Scott Adkins. If you watch a lot of action movies, you will recognize the name Scott Adkins.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is a martial artist. He does his own stunts. That guy is clean when it comes to that kind of work. He's been a bad guy. I forgot which Expendables movie, but he's been in. Was he in the fourth Ip Man movie? Was that him, or is that another dude?
It was him.
It was him. Yeah. So he's a badass. He's definitely the
third,
highlight.
Third or fourth, I don't remember.
The army one. So
Yeah,
it's the fourth one.
he was in one of them.
Yeah, the third one was the Mike Tyson one. But fun fact, and I love to bring this up all the time because these kids over here don't know, is that so Danny, our news guy, has only seen the first John Wick, and Zach over here has not seen any. So I'm just gonna
we
put
gotta
this-
watch. We have till March.
we have
That's in
till
March
this
to watch
upcoming
it.
March.
We'll
Plenty
do a
of
group
time.
watch of
Yes.
all three.
Plenty of time.
I'm so down for a group watch of all three because, and we'll have their impressions
You have plenty of time.
going through, and some of our quick reels that we'll throw up on social media. But it is, I don't think Zach's ready for what a clean action movie is supposed to be. I think he's grown up seeing a lot of
Or dirty.
it's true, but he grew, I think he's gone through from the mid 2000s and watching a lot of these action movies with the shaky cam. And if you saw the trailer, but I don't know, top 5 top big action movies really quick so that I can compare and then tell you whether
that I've seen?
Yeah.
yeah, movies
You're
that feature
asking,
action with beat 'em ups and
You probably say Rush
Some cool
Hour.
stuff. I mean that
No, it
counts.
is. It's an action comedy.
That's a legit thing.
I don't know.
Ambulance.
Amber lamps.
Which have not seen.
That's
I mean,
okay.
other
but
than
That's
Like
all of the
That's fine.
MCU.
because I mean, yeah, action like action like purely action movies that I have seen. I mean, I
Transporter.
would. Well, because you said without shaky cam,
no, any
Any action
well,
movies.
I mean,
yeah, that's
Mission Impossible movies,
Okay,
James
okay,
Bond
okay.
all right. Yeah,
movies.
the most recent Mission Impossibles, the Bonds,
I don't know if
the more Daniel Craig Bonds we were talking about, right?
yeah.
All right, that's fair.
I don't know what else that I can think of that's. I mean, aside from whether it's comic book related or whether it's like
the Born Identity.
like maybe
Did you see any of
like
those?
sci-fi. Born. I've seen the Born.
To Be Alive.
What's the third one?
On the
Is that
4th of July.
Is that
Ultimatum.
Oh, that is Ultimatum.
Ultimatum.
I've seen the third one and I've seen the recent one.
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne. Jesus Christ, it's
Jason
Jason Bourne. Okay, so if you look at how those fight scenes, you will notice there are a lot of quick cuts, and that sometimes can hurt your brain. And it hurts me like
Oh.
sometimes trying to follow along.
Well, okay, never mind. That's a comic book. I was gonna say Daredevil, but that's the TV
Well, like the show.
Oh,
Well, no,
the show had
that's-
good
that
fight
actually
scenes.
had
Those
good
had long
choreography.
takes.
Yes.
They had long
Had long
takes,
takes.
and the long takes
Those
don't
hallway
hide
scenes.
bad because they're there because they're doing good stunt work. They're
Yeah.
not hiding bad stunt work.
Yeah.
But
That's like the only exception of a comic book movie because most
or
of them
property,
were like
yeah.
that's like more like quick cuts and like close ups and whatever. Like this is like a camera panning or following Daredevil while he's beating up bad guys.
That
which
washing machine
Looks better.
from season 1, just like that's still one of my favorite things ever. But going into you'll see things like John Wick, for example. So John Wick and the Raid. We've mentioned this in the past, but those two movies kind of came out around the same time, and kind of re-educated people into realizing, oh, this is what good action movies are like, because you can follow along the action. The action's actually telling a story, and it's pretty badass. Like going into Anthony's point, like the trailer doesn't give away too much about the plot. It just knows that stuff's going down. John Wick he's doing something, and this guy who looks like Keanu Reeves is out here doing something, and he's in Paris, and some guy gets hit by a car, and he shoots him in midair, and that guy died 3 times. Like that trailer's awesome
I
because
think he got hit by a car. I think he was getting shot while he was flipping after getting hit by a car.
yeah, and then I think he
and then he
landed.
landed, so he probably died.
He probably
by
died on
landing.
impact, so he died 3 times.
Mhm.
That and like Anthony said, like that cast just gets better.
So you get
Better,
Donnie
better.
Yen, you get Hiroyuki Sanada, right? That's his name.
Yeah, Hiroyuki Sanada.
That guy's awesome.
He was Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. He's also
He was that Japanese boss that Hawkeye killed in Endgame.
He's also coming up in Bullet Train.
Mhm.
Wasn't he in Wolverine? The Wolverine?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. He's in a lot of stuff. He's in The
Yeah.
Last Samurai. Yeah, he's a really good actor.
I wish I'd see Donnie Yen,
Yeah.
Oh man,
especially after we saw.
I
Ip Man
think
together.
he's.
You mean Rogue One? No, I'm kidding.
And I think he's blind in this movie. I think.
Oh, for real?
I think so.
Ooh.
So it's Rogue One.
Yeah. This is the
That's
prequel.
That's amazing. Chiru Imwe is back. That's dope. Yeah.
And
So
Clancy Brown, like I don't know what
The
he's gonna
Kurgan.
do, but
Clancy
yeah,
Brown.
Clancy
All
Brown's
right.
in it.
You got Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, man.
The Kurgan. You've got he's
The
so
voice
many
of Lex
stuff.
Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, Clancy Brown's a legend, man. I love that.
Yeah, and Bill Skarsgård is probably he looks like he's the bad guy.
He looks like he's
Pennywise.
kind of grimy. Yeah, I can't wait for that too. He probably is gonna have like whoever is in these movies. I'm pretty sure they're just like yes, like they get to have so much fun. It's a lot of physical work, obviously, but I think they know it's worth it, especially with a crazy franchise like this. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of fun
Crazy how popular this franchise is.
because it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just keeps getting like they keep ratcheting it up every movie. So
Yeah,
when John Wick 10 comes out, who knows what's gonna happen?
yeah.
Family.
They'll meet Vin Diesel in space.
Oh god,
We'll fight him with asteroids. I don't know.
Nice. Well, speaking of family, one of the I think the big people were expecting a lot of news from DC. I was pretty excited that we got a trailer for Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
I
Actually, looks
really
pretty
liked the
good.
first one a lot.
Me too. Yeah.
I think
Looks
the,
really
the
good.
the concept of Billy Batson, like that whole thing is really cool because it's people these days talk about worthiness and everything. It's just like, hey, are you worthy to have the power of the gods? And so it's really cool. But then part one still had it, it's about his adopted family, so he's still got stuff about family. And then even in the trailer, there's a blatant family reference to Fast and Furious in front of Helen Mirren, who is in Fast and Furious. But
Wink, wink.
but from what we saw there, we got sort of a clear view of what's going on. That the Shazam family is still kind of brought up in the conflict against the daughters of Atlas, and the effects look good. I think the tone is matched a bit from the first. It's matching the first one, while obviously upping the stakes. We got the wizard back, so Jumon Hansu looks like he's doing more. I'm really happy for him because
Looks like he's in it more than the first one.
which it's great for. Yeah, I'm grateful for that because I think he has the ability to be able to do more with that. And it looked like he was kind of like imprisoned. I don't know if he's imprisoned in the Rock of Eternity, but there's a lot of cool mythos when it comes to the mythological side of the DC comics that Shazam fits in, and that's what makes it fun because he becomes the gateway to more of the magical things. Because in the trailer, he even says like, there's already someone else flying around with a red suit. You got badass Aquaman. He's like, you also got Batman. Like, well, it's cool. He's like a bit of imposter syndrome. Like, who am I? Like, I'm just some kid who yells out a word and
Just another guy.
Yeah, and he even starts doubting himself. He's like, I don't think I'm worthy enough to do this. So I think it's going to be a fun kind of take. Hopefully, it be a palate cleanser after whatever happens with the whole Flash situation, and then which is also cool because then you get Black Adam first, and then I think you get Fury of the Gods. So yeah, color me excited.
That's true.
I think they purposely didn't show the Flash's face when he was talking about the other heroes that he thinks are better.
Yeah,
They showed flashbacks to the other movies. But
imagine they just roll up Grant Gustin. Whoops. Yeah. Speaking of not showing other heroes, very quickly, I wanted to point out is they did have a part of the DC panel. Like they had this whole spectacle of the Rock, Dwayne Johnson coming out in like the Black Adam suit.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty badass. But then they did like question him. It's like, oh, like I was gonna say some loser. No, I'm kidding. Because no, they're legitimately asking a legitimate question. Because you always have the whole like, oh, who wins in a fight, Superman or Black Adam? The answer is actually, though, I'll be that guy, is Black Adam because magic. Because Superman gets wrecked by magic every time. But back to the point is, like, The Rock was just kind of being very diplomatic of it. Like, oh, I guess it depends on who's playing Superman. And then everybody's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then he didn't say anything
He didn't
else.
say anything else because he'd probably get in trouble.
And for some reason, there were a lot of rumors a few days beforehand that
Henry Cavill was going to show
somehow
up.
Henry Cavill was going to show up. And I think that got a lot of people excited.
You
But
got people hyped up for
and
that.
then so when he doesn't show up, then everyone was like, ooh, DC blew it. So I wonder who, I don't know. I wonder who spread those rumors around.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't like a offhand rumor from this random site. Like there were a lot of places saying that this is a
I mean, he's currently filming
highly likely.
The Witcher season 3 right now.
Yeah, but there's a lot. But and then to Anthony's point, though, there were a lot of reputable sources saying like, "Oh, there's stuff going on. The Henry Cavill's going to come up through here and going to do this and this." And I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for their DC fandom, or are they just really
Just waiting for the Flash to come
Just-
up and reset everything.
I guess.
But that's
Like,
in a year.
Yeah.
but it got pushed back from this year, the end of this year, right? It got pushed back to
No, Flash is next like June or July or something.
because for some reason I thought it was like
This
early
the end of
next
this
And that
year.
was before
before
like
the Ezra
before where
Miller
every
business.
week Ezra Miller was doing something.
He says moving as fast as the Flash, just destroying his credibility. But whatever. So yeah, that was a bit of drama in there, but I feel like we're able to kind of again have a nice little palate cleanser because it was nice to see that Shazam's still going through and they're able to keep there's a consistency with Shazam at least. That's my point. So I'm happy about that.
This is very weird that like DC could have brought it. Like if Henry Cavill did show up, that probably would have been like, all right, that rivaled Marvel.
Just
Like, in their
one
presentation.
person alone.
Right, like
Yeah.
that announcement and having him there or having him do a Zoom call or whatever would have rivaled everything that Marvel did. And it's just like, and they didn't do that. It's like, what are you guys doing? Why are you gonna save that for when's fandom, October or something like
I
that?
thought it was like September or
It's at
something.
the
I
end
don't
of the year.
Last year's fandom was like, I don't know what they did there, but It was nowhere near as good as the first one. The first one, that was when they first showed the Batman, right?
Yeah,
when
first
they first
trailer,
they
yeah.
first showed the trailer
Like,
for
but
the
like, it seemed like it was like E3, like where like the time of the year where they show tons of video game announcements. That's what fandom felt like the first time. And then last year I don't know what they did. They brought a bunch of celebrities and showed off random stuff. I don't know. They
Yeah.
even had a really bad trailer for Young Justice season 4,
Oh,
which
that
is
was
a really good show. But if you saw that trailer
Like it wasn't
during
done
it
yet.
was
fandom,
bad.
it would make you not want to watch the show.
It was not
like
good.
like Xavier and I watched it, and we were like, "What is this? What is this trailer?" It
What
made
did
it
they
look like it
do?
was like a 5-year-old kid show. Like I don't know
Which
what
is
they were
not.
doing.
Definitely
Yeah,
not.
It's not.
So right now there isn't even like a confirmed fandom thing. So yeah,
Yeah, 'cause last
Warner
year was so
Brothers.
bad.
So Warner Brothers and Discovery need to like just clean it up. They need to go in here. They need to do something. Like all the people need to stop snorting cocaine or whatever's happening back there, and just need to get a game plan going. Because right now Disney's still just raking in all the free money. It's just planting and just hey.
I think Warner Brothers and DC tried to rush making a connected universe. They was it Justice League was like what the fifth movie in the
Third. It was the third one.
was the third.
It
Well,
was the
because you
third
have
one.
yes, Man of Steel, you have
Batman,
Batman v
Superman,
Superman, you have
Young-
the Suicide Squad, the first one.
No, well, the Suicide Squad came out after
No, that was 2016. Justice League was 2017.
2017.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fair
there were
enough.
four
When did
movies.
Wonder Woman come
It was-
out?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
Wonder
after.
Woman.
It came out after Justice League.
No, wait.
No, it was
It
before.
Okay,
might have
no,
been
it
the
was
same year.
before.
It was. I think it
Yeah,
was.
before.
Yeah, it might have been earlier in that same year.
Mhm.
Now, yes, granted, Marvel did have 5 movies also before Avengers, but those 5 movies dealt with the individual Avengers themselves,
Mhm.
which was a nice lead up into the Avengers because we know who the characters are, they're established. Now we just have a movie where they team up and
Right.
they have their conflicts, whatever. Then they come back together, they kick Loki's ass, and that's it.
Right. Batman v Superman introduced 2 characters, and
Yes.
before they had their own.
And then they had
individual
cameos for 3 characters that they would then introduce
Flash,
for the first
Aquaman,
time
Cyborg.
in Justice League without any backstory, without any character. Like we don't know who these characters are yet. They want to put them in a
Yeah,
in a team
Wonder
movie
Woman
already.
came out the same year. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, Wonder Woman did come out the
Yeah.
same year. It came out that summer, and then Justice League was in November.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then they had announced that we're gonna make a Cyborg movie, then in a Flash movie, and a Green Lantern movie
Nope.
after Justice League. Part 2 was supposed to come out,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which again makes no sense. Why have the solo movies after a team up movie that they
And all of those
debut?
all of those that you announced, none of them were Superman 2.
None of them.
Yeah.
None of them were Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's like you have probably the most popular character ever,
It's been 9 years
and
since
they're
Man of
just like,
Steel.
nah, we're not gonna do anything about this.
It's been
we're not gonna-
9
And we're not gonna
No,
use
he's
the
too
gold
good.
mine that is Henry Cavill. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
I saw some tweets and funny moments where when Henry Cavill didn't show up for DC, someone was like, "Watch Marvel just bring out Henry Cavill
Well,
on
imagine-
the panel."
that
Just
would have been
show up.
robbery. The robbery.
My-
That would have.
now
Hey, everybody, I'm playing Nova. Like,
right to now stick it to him. Like I
Yeah.
figure, like they got to bring him in to be someone else. Like let
Like
him
the
be Reed
rumors were right.
Richards.
He was here, but not for DC.
Right? He was here, but
That
not for
would've
DC
been
stuff, dude. That would have
highway
been.
robbery.
That would have been a huge middle
Feige would have just been
finger.
just grinning ear to ear, just ha
He
ha.
probably
Got
didn't
him.
even have to present anything else.
He just
show
shows
Henry
up.
That's
Cavill.
it. We had a list of movies, but we don't want to show you that anymore.
Yeah, it's like they brought out this dude from Peacemaker playing the High Evolutionary, which we'll talk about later on. But they could just be like, "Psych! Here's also Henry Cavill, just being Henry Cavill, king of the nerds." Anyway,
But yeah, because they rushed everything to try to make Justice League. Now they have just a lot of these subpar movies.
hey,
Well,
Aquaman wasn't subpar.
most of the movies. have been
Shazam wasn't
subpar.
subpar. Like Aquaman and Shazam are pretty good. What I will say was subpar was Wonder Woman 2.
Yes, that one I was excited for because I really liked the first one,
Yeah.
and then they kind of.
And then it's like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay.
Yeah,
Weird.
first one is
That
definitely
was
better than
rough.
the second one.
That
Yeah.
second one was rough.
But yeah, man,
I remember watching
good
it
chunk
first,
of
like,
it
hey,
is-
isn't that? I was like, this is cool, and then I watched it. I was like, no, there's something weird here.
It's good, but
Yeah.
it can be better.
Oh, see, that's probably the best part of the movie. Weirdly
That
enough,
is
is Pedro
Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal.
Is the best part of that movie. That's insane to say. God, Pedro Pascal's too cool. Okay. So moving on to things that are too cool. I would say, yeah, Danny, you got something up next coming up your sleeve, right?
Yeah, so one announcement I didn't expect them to announce, but they're announcing a bunch of projects lately, is for The Walking Dead. They announced this spin-off series focusing on Rick and Michonne.
Finally.
And this is supposed to be kind of like the movie that they were going to
Yeah,
make for
they
Rick.
announced the
Yep.
movie years ago.
They canceled the movie, and then now it's just like a 6-episode
Miniseries.
miniseries.
6 episodes. What's up with
Yeah.
6 episodes now? I blame Disney.
6
Yeah.
hours is better than 2 hours, I guess.
Well,
2.5.
that's exactly how they said it in the panel. They said like, "Oh, instead of getting a 2-hour movie, you get a 6-hour story." And
And people were like, I guess.
so is
Uh,
that, but is the budget bigger? Because
yeah, so
if you spent
It's a lot of-
150 million on a 2-hour movie, are you gonna just use 150 million and spread it out through 6 episodes? Because then it won't be the
Yeah.
same.
just be a lot of walking.
but I'm
And
curious.
deading.
Rick was one of
He
the
did
best
it.
parts of The Walking Dead, so
Yep, that's when I stopped watching.
it'll be cool to see.
Spoilers.
Cool.
He left.
It'll be cool to see
He
how
got-
they
he-
end
spoil-
his
yeah.
story.
Well,
So
from what I remember is, well, they putting him because he got airlifted on a helicopter, and then the
He
show
is-
had a time jump.
yeah,
So I'm
he
not thinking-
escaped. He escaped and then went to that like garbage lady's place and then left with
Spoiler,
them.
guys. Spoilers.
It's like chapter 7 or
I'm like mid season
Chapter.
6.
oh, my
Oh, okay.
lord.
Well,
Shut
No,
up.
I think it's the next
stopped,
season.
I stopped watching it after like
Shut
after like
up.
mid season.
Did you get to Negan?
I think
No.
Negan was season
Oh.
5.
No, I think
No,
it was like
wait.
end of season 6 or season 7.
I'm at the part I left
How many
off at
seasons
the
is
part.
this show, man?
I think
It-
11.
too
Well, it's
many.
about to be 10.
11.
Right, and I
Too
think
many.
Rick. I
11
think
now,
Oh,
I think
today.
Rick left in like season 7 or something.
7 or 8.
Because the point where I stopped at was when they were on their way to DC.
DC.
I think
Oh,
that's
that's like
season
Fandom?
6.
To DC or like to Virginia? Because right now, because season 7 was the whole beginning thing with the whole like
Negan.
Negan and the
Yeah, it was
last
before
day on
that.
Earth thing.
Before
Yeah,
that.
So he's before that.
Yeah,
So then maybe-
I'm like mid season 6.
So maybe Rick leaves in 8 then.
I
Yeah.
stopped watching at 8, but I gotta continue just to.
I
Do
do
you?
need to
Because
too.
it's ending now.
Yeah, just to.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
now
I
that we know
stopped
that
at a
there's an
7. I stopped at 7. I was like, okay, cool.
the
They
thing
did,
is-
they did the thing from the comics. Awesome. Okay, I'm done.
The
Like
thing was, I was hate
not-
watching it after like season 3. I was just hate watching it. I was just like,
there were certain times where characters died. Was this guy Tyrese?
every time a
Tyrese?
character died, it was the
It
most
was
obvious
really
thing.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was really stupid. And it's just like, oh, cool, that's going on. I was like, dude, why? And then, but they would set it up, and it wasn't even like thematically like impactful because it would be telegraphed from a mile away, and 2, it would be hella nonsensical.
I mean, season 1, 2, and 3 are probably the best for sure.
Season 3 has some really good episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's when it starts.
But
like
that was like the
4
height.
season 4 and afterwards.
3
it
was what,
started
the
getting-
governor? and
Yes.
all that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
season 3 was the height of the show because it was the highest viewed cable television series of all
Yeah.
time at
Mhm.
16, 17 plus million views
Yep.
per,
AMC was
per
riding
episode
high.
Yeah.
almost.
Was riding high.
And then it dropped. I looked at the Nielsen ratings. It dropped off to like 5 million by like season 6 or 7.
Damn.
Which was
So,
crazy.
so season 3, that would have been, because I think the show started in 2009. So that would have been like,
2010.
2010, yeah.
2010.
so season 3 would have been 2012 or something like that.
Somewhere around
Season
Se-
3
We're in season
was
11 now.
'Cause
Or it
2012.
just finished.
AMC was riding high.
2012, 2013.
AMC was riding high. They had Walking Dead, they had Breaking,
Breaking
Bad,
Bad.
like the last season or
Yeah.
second to last season of Breaking Bad, and maybe even Mad Men, the last season.
Now, Vanilla Walking Dead is ending or did end. And we have
No,
like
it
4.
hasn't.
It
They,
has
they
not
announced the,
ended.
The
the
final
last
season.
second part of the season.
Season 4
Oh,
was
this is part 2.
Part 2 of the
of
last season.
11? Oh, well, it's
Season
about to
20
finish,
or whatever it is.
But we
And-
have like 5 spin-offs.
And
Yeah.
then they also
Yeah.
announced like the Tales of the Walking Dead, which is like different stories.
Yeah.
Like each episode is a different
Mhm.
story.
But you have like a lot of big actors
So it's like
in there
it's like
too.
Black Mirror, but in the Walking Dead
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
just
they've
a-
already had like 2 other spin-offs.
Walking
like
Dead.
Fear the Walking
And then
Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other one's
Yeah.
called.
walking
So-
with the Walking Dead.
So we'll see.
The Fearist of the Dead.
And then it's Denai Guerrero is awesome. Andrew Lincoln can that's just putting the Rick Grimes hat back on and just making it work. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of story they can tell.
Yeah.
Given it's like these
At least, I mean, it's
zombie
6 episodes,
crossovers.
so I'll watch it just to finish.
It'll be a little
Rick's
bit of an
story.
investment. Yeah, we'll see.
I think I would want to catch up on the primary
When-
show.
He leaves.
I think
to
at
that
the
point
end
where
of
he
season
leaves.
7 or 8 is when he leaves, or in the middle
Yeah.
of season 7 or 8. I don't know because then
It
there's
was-
like a
yeah.
5-year time jump.
Yeah,
and some
it was
other
the
BS
middle
happens.
of one of them,
Yeah.
and
it
because
was
I didn't
8.
finish the second half.
It was like the
Was
the
just like-
mid-season.
To me, I was like,
Mid-season
that's a
break.
good place to stop. I'm like,
So yeah, Walking Dead started with the whole we're gonna do a mid-season finale. It's gonna be wild, and then we're gonna give you a whole bunch of random nonsense, and then another big season finale.
yeah.
They have a lot of episodes each season. It's like,
It's
20
like
episodes.
16. No, it's like
18,
average 16.
20.
They
I think.
still have over 100.
They've kept it consistent at 16. I think. Since
Yeah, for
season
I think the
3 or
past few
something.
years they would do like an 8 and 8. They do
Mm.
the
Yep.
Yeah.
split in half.
15, 16. All right.
So Zach, what is your SDCC
Non-Marvel.
Non-Marvel, yeah.
project?
Non
so-
Marvel.
Yeah, so like Phase 5. Okay. Oh yeah. I would have to say that getting another trailer for Amazon's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. So this trailer was more of you see more of the characters and a bit of the story. I think the previous trailer was more
Didn't show much.
of
Well, this
The
one's-
one where everyone was just looking at the sky.
yeah.
pretty much.
Well, this one's an actual trailer. All the
Yeah.
other ones were like teasers or like
Yeah, because the
build
well,
up
yeah,
to the actual trailer that came out.
because the first anything that we got was that like title card teaser or intro, whatever, that looked really cool with the molten like metal and stuff being
Going
poured
over the
and stuff,
O and
That was
Rings of Power.
actually
which was practical, by the way,
Practical.
which looked
Word.
which was even more insane when they
Again,
showed us the behind the
part
scenes
about the
stuff.
budget.
Yeah, they have was over $1 billion.
From the rights and
For
everything
the
else.
whole-
400 million or something.
It's John Hammond from Jurassic Park. Just spared no expense. They actually got a real Balrog of Morgoth there.
Oh yeah, at the end of the trailer, dude,
That's awesome.
the Balrog. Oh, I was like,
But that's not the Durin's Bane Balrog
from
Fellowship.
Fellowship.
It can't be because that guy was
You got got.
only no. This takes place before he got got.
I know.
More importantly, is that he wasn't woken up yet But then again, you do have like an ancestor of Durin.
yeah,
That's
it was like
one of the That's one of the trolls. Sorry,
Dwarves.
dwarves.
How many of them are there? Because I know
King
there's a
Durin the
couple of them.
fourth. In
Yeah,
this one,
in
is
this
the
one
fourth.
is the fourth.
I had to look it up. It's
Mm.
Durin the fourth. Which when I saw the name Durin, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like the Ed Sheeran song where he mentions Durin's son, or even like in The Hobbit when they mention
What a
Durin's
nerd.
son.
God, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
That's
like,
awesome.
like the Ed Sheeran
Wait,
song is good.
does Ed
right?
Sheeran?
The only Ed
$5
Sheeran song.
Oh, the one that he sings in
at
Lord of the
the-
Rings.
At the yeah, at
I
the
thought
end
you
of,
meant like Ed Sheeran had a
no,
separate
no.
song where he talks about Lord of the Rings.
No, it's
Okay,
it's the song that
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
played at the end of the Desolation
The
of
Hobbit.
Smaug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is I think my favorite song played throughout any of the credits.
Of any, including Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
What?
Even Billy Boyd.
Oh, I like the Billy Boyd one.
Mm.
No, the I really love the one at the end of Two Towers.
Because
That one's really good.
I think the ones at the end of the Lord of the Rings aren't as memorable to me as the ones in the Hobbit. Because the ones from the end of the Hobbit
are you?
were catchier.
Hobbiton.
I think.
Well, the thing is, remember the Hobbit had actual songs in the book, so like they had a lot of stuff to draw from. Like Tolkien wrote songs out, like so
Yeah.
like in the
So was Ed Sheeran's song plagiarized?
no, I think it's actually, if I'm not mistaken, I might be, but I thought it was like lifted straight from the book.
Oh.
Or
man, that's
may
pretty
not,
cool.
or at least a lot of it is lifted straight from the book, and then just
Well,
you
because I
different
know
quotes.
So it's not
Billy
his song.
Boyd's song. At the end of the song, he says, "I bid you all a very fond farewell," which is a line from the book or the
Mhm.
movie too. Because Bilbo says it to at his birthday party in
to the
Fellowship.
village. Mhm.
He says, "I bid you all a very fond farewell," and he just puts the ring on, and disappears, and that's where that line came from. And of course, you have Billy Boyd, who was
Okay, no,
in
he
the
wrote
Hobbit, or
it.
in the Lord
Okay,
of the
so
Rings.
he wrote it himself, but just like got all the inspiration from the book.
well, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. All the songs are like that.
I see fire. Yeah. Oh man,
But yeah, so this
Nice.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Benedict
That guy,
Cumberbatch was.
he did two things in that trilogy. He was like the
He
weird
was the necromancer.
necromancer.
Also known as Smaug.
It's
Sauron.
like sort of Sauron trying to come back out. Yeah,
and then
and
then he was Smaug.
he was Smaug, which is great because then when you go watch Sherlock, you basically have Smaug and Bilbo just hanging out again,
which
just
is what I
different forms.
loved.
And then if they have to find a way for Everett Ross and Doctor Strange to meet up somehow. Like that
they
needs
should.
to happen.
Yes.
If that doesn't happen, then why even cast them in
I
things?
know.
I
Like
mean, maybe in Wakanda Forever, but
who
Everett Ross
knows?
is in it, but I don't know if Doctor Strange is
in an
just going to
Avengers
show up out of
movie.
nowhere.
Maybe inside of an Avengers movie.
But why would Everett Ross be in an Avengers
I don't
movie?
know. The
Secret
CIA, yeah, the CIA's
Right,
got
maybe
to.
he
So
joins-
but that's
maybe he
that's
joins
the problem.
S.H.I.E.L.D..
So he'll probably be in Secret Invasion.
Dude, what if he's
but
a
will
scroll?
Doctor Strange be
No.
in Secret Invasion? I
What
doubt
if
it.
he's actually a scroll? No, don't make it happen. Anyway, that Rings of Power trailer is really cool. It's coming out in
Yeah.
September, and
gonna
coming
be-
out
like,
soon.
It's gonna be
you-
It comes out
rivaling
September
uh,
2nd.
Yeah.
September 2nd.
And what's really nice is that you also what's hype for me from like reading a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff as when I was younger in high school is like you have some like these heavy hitter like legendary like elven people like Gil-galad, I think Celebrimbor's there, obviously Galadriel, and so
Elrond.
like you have the people who the people will talk about Weathertop, that place where they fought the Wraiths in Fellowship. I think
Yeah.
that's where Gil-galad died. Again, someone's gonna roll up and just fact check me on there, but
Chris
that's-
or
yeah.
Chris or Yanni.
they're like that's where one of the Elven Kings fell, like fighting other dark forces are. So it's really
Yeah.
it's cool to see some of that stuff happen. Which hopefully we get those big old like they find a way to just get people invested in the drama.
Yeah.
And so Amazon's doing low key killing the game with some of their own little internal stuff. So
Well, and even from the trailer, just rewatching it now a little bit ago. I mean the scenery, the visuals look
They
really,
look amazing.
really nice.
Yeah.
Like they look,
when you're in New
Real.
Zealand, man,
they look like a lot of it looks like pretty real. for
Probably is. A lot of
CGI.
it probably is.
Amazon money, yeah, it's got to be. real.
Because it doesn't look like a giant green screen or blue screen set like in The Hobbit or even parts of Lord of the Rings.
It's probably a mix. It's probably a half and half.
But it looks a lot
The milk.
better because I would say that the CGI in The Hobbit is equivalent to the CGI from the prequel Star Wars trilogy because it's like it's there, it's there.
Yes.
So, but now it just looks more like
You
it
can
looks
tell it
more
has a
realistic.
huge
Yeah,
budget.
there's more practical effects. Like the
Yeah.
the orcs look hella practical. Like
Oh, the orcs look
freaky.
I love that the orcs look a lot like they did in Lord of the Rings, and because the Hobbit they were different.
Some of them, yeah, they had the pale orcs because they were from different areas,
Well,
but
yeah,
also
'cause
some of them
those
were
are the
CG
Uruk-hai.
effects too.
Yeah.
But then there's also, I mean, Lord of the Rings had Uruks and orcs too. So
Or
Uruk-hai,
Uruk-hai,
yes.
which are different from the orcs that are in Lord of the Rings, I guess. But those were
Yes, different.
specifically bred
They were, Saruman bred them specifically to,
to be like warriors. Like,
Looks
or,
like meat's back on the menu, boys. yeah.
But so this trailer had more of like you see more of the characters, whereas before it was just more like scenic stuff and like, oh, this is what the world looks like. But now this is like, here are your characters. Here are some elves, dwarves, your orcs, hobbits, and they didn't show any wizards. So
No, they're not gonna probably show up here at all.
well, maybe we'll get like the blue wizards that were absent from the other films, and because I mean we got Gandalf. We had Gandalf the Grey, Sodom on the White.
Because remember this also takes place
And
before like the
Radagast.
Sundering, when basically like the god in Lord of the Rings like cut off the way out like to the west, like to the far lands.
Which isn't that in the trailer? Well, it looked like I don't know. It was some of the
It
characters
looks
were on
like
a ship
the
going
shores,
somewhere.
yeah, because like hey, we're going to the shores, like that's our promised land, so you can do that. But
That's out west.
yeah, the problem
Yeah.
is spoilers for the book, show, and movie and everything.
Yeah.
So be warned. Skip like 30 seconds. Sauron in his like mortal form after he kind of gets beat up.
I forget what his name was when he was.
Yeah, but he
in
was like the
mortal
giver
form.
of gifts or something. Like that's like his title. He
'Cause
goes
he's
to the
he's
new.
the same species
Yeah,
as like the wizards.
he's higher up than them technically.
Yeah,
Like he's sort of
yeah.
like a weird fallen angel thing. But point is,
Yeah.
he goes and corrupts the Numenorians, except for Elendil, who's also in this show, which is kind of ridiculous because at that time the Numenorians lived to like at least beyond like 100, 150 years in age. So he'll corrupt those men, and he'll tell them, "Hey, go out west. You got to go do that." And then the god was like, "Oh, you guys can't do that," and he sinks like Numenor. But the people who were faithful or whatever, like, went out west, and that's why they settle in Minas Tirith and all that other stuff. That's a bit much, but anyway,
Yeah.
show looks
But,
hype. I wonder,
I'm
like,
looking
how,
forward to
do we
it.
even know like how many seasons we're gonna get, or like I don't know how much time.
not
They
even too
supposedly
sure.
planned for
couple
5
se-
seasons. They planned for 500 hours worth of material.
Mother of God.
Whether or not they're gonna do that is a different story.
5
Is it-
seasons, but how many episodes?
10,
Like, okay.
Yeah, so 50. So
50 hours. Yeah,
50
I don't know why I
hours.
said 500.
He's
I was
like,
thinking of
whoa,
Top
like,
Gun. I was thinking of Top Gun.
500 hours.
Yeah.
500 hours of raw IMAX footage from airplanes. No,
Yeah, I think I heard that they were planning 5 seasons.
that's wonderful. Cannot wait. Give it to me.
But if season 1
Got to
is-
make some money.
if
though.
season 1's not good, then
Yeah. Then hey,
No, it's gonna look
investment
really
not
good.
in there. Well, we'll see.
And yeah, I'm really excited too, especially since like I'm relatively newer to the Lord of the Rings fandom. Like I got into it like 2013, 2014 when, or no, sorry, 2012, 2013 when The Hobbit was coming out. That was actually my first
I
taste
don't know.
nice.
of that. And then when I finished that trilogy, I watched the Lord of the Rings extended cut, of course.
These are so better. So much
And
better.
oh no, huge difference in quality.
They can. I don't know. It just felt like Peter Jackson was just
Well,
doing them, like just going
yeah.
through the motions with the Hobbit.
Well, I mean, he did a great job with making it work somehow, like squeezing or stretching a small book into 6 hours,
Yeah, you
7
didn't-
hours.
you didn't
and
need
but you
to.
didn't need to. You only needed 2. Honestly, 2 movies would have been fine.
Yeah, I think 2 movies would have been fine too. But I mean, we got what we got. I think he just wanted a trilogy, so that way it's like a trilogy for this and a trilogy.
I
for
don't
that.
think he wanted it.
I think the studio
yeah,
wanted
I
it.
think the
Oh, the
studio's
studio
like,
wanted that. Oh, okay.
New Line was like, give it to
Yeah.
us.
I mean, it was all filmed back to back, just like the first trilogy. So, but I am excited to get more into this world. I do want to read I should read the books though, like not
should.
just like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit books, but also anything that takes place outside of that.
Dude, yeah, but take the Silmarillion like in pieces, because if you try to just info dump all of that, it's just appendices and all these other tales. Like your brain will blow up, your head will explode.
Because it's so much, or
It's
because-
so much, because there's so much. There's so much. There's even like epilogues after Lord of the Rings. Like, dude, just don't even. It gets nuts.
yeah, like stuff that not even J.R.R. Wrote, but even his son like
Yeah.
finished.
Yeah, because he had sketch stuff ideas out. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's out of hand. So,
But-
it's also
something I-
competing with the, what do you call it?
Game of
Thrones show
Game of
coming
Thrones
out.
show. Yeah.
Oh, because that show comes out.
I think it
around the
comes
same
out a little
time.
bit
House of the
before.
Dragon. August was it
Yeah.
19th?
And
or
it came out with
20?
a trailer of that too. So
Oh,
I-
I think it was the 21st. I think is when House of the Dragon comes out.
So it'll
of
be airing
August?
at the same time.
They
yeah.
will be
A couple
competing.
episodes.
Well, it depends, because Amazon likes to drop their shows like on Thursdays, Fridays.
I think
So you might get
Fridays.
that instead, and then HBO's on Sunday. So
Yeah, the boys.
fantasy
was
for
Sunday.
everyone.
I have a strong feeling that Lord of the Rings will do better.
Yeah,
I
think
think
you're
I
right.
think it'll get more viewers than
maybe on the first episode, but
we'll
It has
see
to
if
be
there's a
good.
drop off.
It has
Yeah.
to be
It's gotta
good
be
'cause-
good.
because if after the first 3, people are like, I don't know about this, then
They
All
got
about
then
word
they
of
have a
they'll
mouth.
problem.
they'll just go back to Game of Thrones,
Or Wheel of Time.
probably.
Or
which
Wheel of
they
Time.
announced a 3rd season, even though season 2 hasn't even come out yet.
They're invested in Wheel of Time. I mean, I
Yeah.
found it enjoyable. That's a different topic. So yeah, really surprised and excited that they brought out like a final trailer for it, since it's just 2 months away. And so we'll have to see if it lives up to the hype and the big speculation that it was all over.
I hope so.
Uh,
I truly hope so.
that's all we
We
can do
all
at this
hope.
point. We can only hope. Man. So moving to our big main topic, we're going to just kind of digest all of that, but I'll let Danny introduce the massive MCU updates that we got. Like, I think we got more than what we expected, as what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people were expecting like Fantastic Four to be fully announced, like the cast and everything. But like we mentioned in our last episode, we think it's gonna be in D23. But we got a clear lineup of Phase 4, Phase 5, and even got some stuff for Phase 6.
Yeah, like
So
to round out Phase 4, which is actually really cool, is we have She-Hulk, and then we had confirmed that Wakanda Forever that comes out in
we'll
November
finish it.
finishes out, and we got trailers for both of those two.
Yep.
That was hype.
The Black Panther trailer was emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Music was
Very
good.
good.
That was surprisingly like hit really hard. And I knew a lot of other people who watch it casually or just really had the first movie resonate with them, that they saw that and got like it felt emotions just hearing it with that cover of Bob Marley and the Wailers. Like it's done really well. But then, got some big reveals there, right?
Yeah, well, in Phase 5, we got some Daredevil.
That's what I mentioned, yeah, because we talk about a She-Hulk trailer, which
and
one
She-Hulk.
looks way better.
That trailer was better.
Way better, and it had the She-Hulk like breaking of the fourth wall that
wall.
she's known for, and then even like Banner, the Bruce looks over like, wait, the hell are you looking at?
Who are you talking to?
I hope there's more of that because she's known for that. In fact, even fun little aside, like as fourth wall breaking, like she even like I think in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like the fighting game, she references like to Deadpool that she's done it first. Like, oh, your fourth wall breaking, like, oh, I did that first, and so like I think like it's freaking great. So
Well, speaking of Deadpool, right before Comic-Con, they actually announced that Deadpool 2, and Logan is now on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
rated R films,
Yeah.
First rated R
first
movies.
rated R movies on there. Don't watch that. Don't let your kids watch it. Make sure their kids' account is locked up.
Yeah, put that parental lock on there.
Yeah, it's also like front and center, like
Yeah.
on the app.
Oh
Literally.
Like,
yeah, when I
it's
was
like,
on Disney
What
Plus
is that?
the
Don't
other
worry
day,
about it,
yeah.
son. You're 7.
Yeah, when I was watching Luke Cage last night or catching up on Luke Cage, the first thing is Deadpool,
mhm.
and then Logan. Sorry, it was
Logan.
Logan, then Deadpool, and Deadpool 2. Literally the
Yeah.
first 3.
I think if I had to have a kid watch something, I think I'd rather have them watch Logan than Deadpool.
Yeah,
It's like-
Logan is
yeah,
or
it's
it's
I
violent,
don't know,
but it's
dude.
but it's-
Logan's like really violent.
it's
Yeah.
violent, but it's a little more.
I think it's more
a
palatable.
little more
than
a little more
Deadpool.
tamed, but yeah,
Is-
Deadpool is more.
Yeah.
Of a,
Is it?
Hey, rewatch it.
I mean,
It's
well,
violent.
when it comes
not
to
part 2.
when it comes to the absurdity,
Yeah,
like Logan is way more tame.
but the thing is,
for
there's also a
rated R.
lot of dialogue that you'd have to sift through in Deadpool and Deadpool 2. Like the whole part when he's growing his hand back, he's like, "Oh my god, it makes this feel huge with this hand." I was like, "Come on!" Like,
I
Well,
bet this feels
the whole
huge.
point is you shouldn't have a little kid watching either of those movies. It's just-
anyway, but before we move on to like Phase 5, like yeah, like that Wakanda Forever trailer confirmed Namor. I
Which
love the
looks
aesthetic.
awesome.
The aesthetic they use for Namor is awesome.
Is
Like
it
this-
Namor or Namor? Because I
I
hear
say
everyone say
Namor.
Namor. I always said
I say
Namor.
Namor the Submariner.
And now that it's,
I always said Namor
now
the
that it's
Submariner
like,
because
now
it
that they're
rhymed.
making it a like Latino influence, it might be like Namor. I don't know.
Oh.
Namor. But the cool thing is it's Latino, but it's also Central American, like Mayan,
Yeah.
Aztec influence. That's badass.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense. Imagine conquistadors trying to like screw with those that basically like this version of Atlanteans. Like, nah, get bodied, son. But yeah, that's hype. And then that ends Phase 4 in November. But then we get that beginning of Phase 5. Now you can do that
Well,
rundown
Real quick, I'm surprised that when Marvel first announced all these movies, back a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that they didn't just stop with whatever would end or just whatever would end Phase 4, because they showed us like, oh, we have Ant-Man and Fantastic Four coming out, but those
We
are
all
Phase
assumed it was all just Phase 4 up until Fantastic
exactly
Four.
Right.
And then now they broke it up where
Yeah.
now Black Panther is what ends Phase 4, and then Phase 5 begins with
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Quantumania. That's gonna be hype. But and like that impression that people got at Hall H when they talked about Ant-Man and Wasp, because
Gonna
they
be
showed like a
dark.
sizzle reel. It's like, whoa, the tone is totally different, because like for sure we got a Jonathan Majors as Kang, and then Scott trying to flash the when I'm an Avenger thing. He's like, didn't I kill you already? Or like,
Ooh,
he's like, haven't I killed one of you before? I was like, oh, okay, like.
we need to see more of that.
Yeah, homie. Yeah, I'm telling you, Kang's coming in hot. But then we also got another like villain reveal too, which surprised the hell out of me. That I did not expect that we were getting anything MODOK related, which is really cool.
In the
wasn't it
quantum realm.
yeah
Yeah,
Because MODOK was supposed to be its own show, I think.
No, it was.
They had
It's on Hulu.
they had a MODOK show.
It's fun. I like it.
Oh, so the
Like,
show is a
it's there on
the
Hulu.
show is a thing.
I'd
But
recommend.
is it part of the MCU?
No.
No, it's not. I
Mm.
would recommend watching it because it's got a lot of fun Easter eggs. Watch that. It's also another show that's not on. I think I mentioned way back, but one show that's on Hulu as well that you should for sure watch because it's really fun is Hit Monkey, which has Marvel references like Silver Samurai shows up and everything. But watch Hit Monkey. It's awesome. Jason Sudeikis is in it.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
So I have a side note on Black Panther because there was, I think, Ludwig Göransson, the composer
Yeah.
of Black Panther. He was doing an interview, and he was talking about how they were coming up with the music for the second movie, and he mentioned how they were getting together and coming up with the music for Wakanda and Talokan. And so a lot of people are thinking that Namor might not be from Atlantis, that they might have created this new place called Talokan.
Okay.
And that's where he's from.
That's
So
cool.
it's very possible that he's not.
Yeah,
Atlantean.
maybe not to confuse it with
Aquaman.
Yep. Even though that he's exactly
Hombre de agua?
that's what he is. He's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
ripoff of Aquaman.
We don't want him to be Hombre de Agua.
But that would be cool to
who
get like
came-
its
who
own
came first, though?
MCU
Mhm.
version.
Who came first?
Who
Yeah.
did come first?
the chicken.
The egg.
But while you're looking that up, if you want to watch our prior episode, we do have a whole Phase 4 rundown of what's been our favorite, what TV show and what movies we've liked.
Namor
so.
came first.
Yes, he did.
Nice.
Namor
He
3
did
years.
come out 3 years before Aquaman.
years
so
before.
But not the movie.
But Aquaman
not
came
the movie.
first.
So Aquaman.
My
Not-
man.
not my man.
Aquaman
Momoa.
is the ripoff.
Not Momoa.
Momoa
The-
that's flying with.
So
Yeah,
I know they said that Black Panther ends Phase 4.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for? Because there's also a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special coming out this year,
Yeah,
I think that might be
and supposedly there's
unrelated.
the wearable
Halloween Werewolf by Night special
So
this
But
year.
it wasn't
also,
even mentioned either.
it wasn't. That's probably
Yeah.
going to be mentioned in D23.
unless it's announced in D23 as a surprise and then they
Mhm.
sneak it into the phase,
It might be next year or something.
or they delayed it,
hmm
or
Because Giacchino was so busy he couldn't direct.
Yeah,
Couldn't
he's
direct
already
anything.
done like 5 movies.
this
year.
past
or
like 9 months.
they announce it kind of like What If season 2 and all those animated shows that they announced.
Well,
but
that's
it's-
where they announced the Groot,
Yeah,
the Groot show.
Yep.
and
Which we
it's
got a trailer
not
for.
really
It's cool.
in the phase.
Right.
So-
That's why I was a little confused. Like, so I know
We'll see
it's
what
probably
they-
just like a separate offshoot that
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, like I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll, like in a way, kind of take place during Phase 4, even though it comes out after Phase
Mhm.
5 or after Phase 4 ends. But I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't think
Maybe
it'll
they're
be
just
trying
like
to like one of
special
those
Yeah.
one
Offshoots,
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like the Star Wars Christmas special, like one
No,
of those
no, no,
things.
no, no.
Well,
We don't-
not like
we
that.
don't
No,
talk
I'm saying,
about-
no, I'm saying like
we
one of
don't
those
talk
things
about
where it's
Bruno
it's
Star
not really
Wars.
canon.
No Wookiee life.
Like it doesn't
days.
count,
It doesn't count.
But yeah.
except for Boba Fett. But,
Yeah.
you know.
But we'll run through Phase 5 now. So
Mhm.
we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, which we kind of briefly went over.
In February, right? February.
February
February
17th.
17th.
And then spring of 2023, we have Secret Invasion.
No
which
date
is-
yet.
This
Show.
is
It's a
yeah.
show.
this is like the third logo change they go through.
Mhm.
Yeah, now that it's more green and scroll-ish, so it
Yeah.
looks cool. That'll be fun.
Apparently, they showed some clips of that to the audience.
Yeah. And Maria Hill was there, so she's going to be a big part of it. So is Samuel Jackson.
Excited to see them both back.
Nice.
I
And
think
my
Everett Ross
boy,
is going to be in it too.
my boy Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, he should be in it.
Yeah.
He's got to be
He
in
is
there.
a scroll. So.
He's a scroll. But yeah, so Everett Ross will be in Secret
also had-
Invasion, which makes sense.
They announced Emilia Clarke a long time ago.
That is true.
She's
yes.
somebody.
She might be Queen Varanki or she's the scroll queen. So, or no, is that Olivia Colman? I think Olivia Colman's in that too.
She's also in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
I don't remember that.
yeah, Academy Award winner. Amelia.
So then we move on to May, where we have the Guardians Volume 3, which
Wait.
also got a logo change.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it looks very gold. Very gold and black. I get the Adam Warlock vibes
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna
we
say.
also-
but also the High Evolutionary.
Yes, that guy has. Originally, he's kind of known for having to deal with stuff with like Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, like at least on this place called Wundagore Mountain. But then they brought Wundagore in Doctor Strange Multiverse of
Multiverse.
Madness as to like where the Scarlet Witch's powers and everything come from. But So they're mixing him up a bit, but it's still gonna be cool. Now we know who forget his name. He was in Peacemaker, but they said like they brought him in to be somebody in James Gunn's Guardians 3, and now we know. And he even rolled up in costume and just like y'all are like he just like cut a wrestling promo basically. He's like, "You've inspired me from your filth and awfulness." I was like, "This is great." Like this man is basically cutting a wrestling promo. He's having too much fun. And then so the other surprising one is in terms of shows, we got like a sort of like area of release for Echo, right?
Yeah, so summer of 2023, we have the Echo show.
That's dope. That'll be a fun little side thing to watch.
We get Kingpin coming back.
Yep.
Daredevil coming back.
And Daredevil. Did we talk about the reveal at the end of the She-Hulk trailer?
No, we did not.
That's
We talked about the show Daredevil, but we didn't talk about Daredevil being in the trailer.
I think you mentioned it briefly, but we still kind of skipped over it.
We get the first look of MCU Daredevil.
Yellow suit.
Redone MCU Daredevil because technically he was still in it.
It was still the shows are still MCU, no matter what anyone says.
But now he's got a redone suit because
Kevin Feige.
everybody in this room is caught up with Daredevil on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because basically, how
It's
Bullseye.
the other shows I'm still not.
Yeah, Bullseye took over the old costume, so I guess he needs to go back with the classic like red and.
That's if they
yellow.
continue the story.
I would hope.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it'll still be a continuation of.
Who knows?
We'll get more details, I'm sure, as we get closer.
Yep.
So he's most likely in that just because he's a lawyer.
Of course.
But 18 episodes for his show.
Yeah.
That's 3 times as many as any other Marvel show.
And we're getting so
on
much
Disney
Star
Plus.
Wars.
And we're getting so
Star
much
Wars.
good. Yeah, we're getting so much goodness. Like even before the lead up to Daredevil, Born Again. Like we have
Loki season 2, which I'm excited for that.
and then
Yes.
July 25th, or is it
28.
28th? I can't read.
The Marvels.
Ooh, the
Which
Marvels. Yeah, which
got-
now you get Tiana Paris. You have Photon or whatever she had at the end of
Monica.
WandaVision.
WandaVision. Yeah, so you have Monica Rambeau.
Who?
Kamala Khan. Monica Rambeau.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought you were
not
gonna do
Maria.
like a Ja Rule. Like,
Monica.
there you go. There you go.
There we go. You got Monica. You got Kamala Khan, who did a great job with Ms. Marvel, and then you have obviously Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel.
It'll be cool to see Kamala join those 3, like see how that movie's going to be with them 3.
Yep.
But then again, you're kind of taken away from Captain Marvel and all these characters, so we'll see how they mix them all up.
Yeah, because there's a lot of questions that people are trying to now infer because of stuff. Remember the post credits of Shang-Chi, and it's okay, so she's still reachable, but then now why is she in the thing from the end of Ms. Marvel if you haven't seen it? So watch Ms. Marvel so you don't get spoiled. But then November. Talk about November.
Super excited for Blade,
Yes.
which
Sir,
hopefully we get some cool dark.
Mahershala,
Dude,
do it.
it's still over a year away, and like
Yeah.
we've seen nothing. Like there's no. The only rumor I've heard about it is that
'Cause they're
one
vampires.
it's vampires. Was that there's one certain actor that apparently is being teased to be in it, which is
I hope
your boy Anthony Starr
Homelander.
of The Boys fame and Banshee fame. Also a good action show if you want to watch. Banshee's pretty badass, but he might be a villain or he might be somebody like we don't know. That's gonna be pretty hype
The rumor is that he is Dracula.
that he's Dracula.
Mhm.
Damn, that's wild. If you're gonna do a Blade movie and there's automatically he's fighting Dracula again, like
I'll
Blade
take it.
Trinity.
Maybe he'll be like he won't be a main bad guy, but he'll be in the background.
Yeah, and then
Controlling
Moon Knight
everything.
needs to come out asking where his money is.
We need Dane Whitman from
Dane
Eternals.
Whitman from
Hopefully he
Eternals,
shows up.
my boy, the
Getting
Black
his
Knight.
sword. Mm-hmm.
He took the sword.
And,
And
then moving
Speaking
on
of
from
picking
that,
up mantles, yeah, go for it.
we
Next
go
one.
into fall of 2023 and we get Ironheart, which we did see her in the Wakanda Forever trailer.
Yeah, she's hanging out with Shuri. Obviously,
And-
like that's a brain trust in and of itself.
And they show her hammering
Doing
away
just like
at
Tony.
iron,
Yeah.
and a heart falls on the floor. So
At-
if you didn't notice that, watch the trailer
Watch
again.
the trailer again. I think before the introduction of Reed Richards, like Shuri might just be one of the smartest people, maybe the smartest person on the planet right now. just because of all her exposure to the Wakandan tech
Yeah.
and everything else. And so you have like, that's gonna be really cool. Then you have Riri Williams. I'm hyped. I'm kind of hyped. Not kind of. I'm crazy hyped right now. Like it's too cool. We got to keep going now, and it gets even better.
Yeah. So then these
Order
next
another
four,
round.
these next 4 titles were officially announced. Because I know a bunch of them had rumors, but we had in winter of 2023 going into 2024, we have Agatha Coven of Chaos,
You change the
Coven,
name.
which they changed the name.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
changed the name. Yeah, it's just to be just Agatha Harkness, but no.
So
That's more Catherine Hahn is always a plus. She was too damn good
maybe
in
we'll
WandaVision.
get more
Witches.
Wanda in it.
More witches.
Yeah, it might be just
maybe.
the show of witches.
Maybe more all the other side of the magic users. and
Wonder
then
how she gets out of her spell.
So the show is
maybe
because
because Wanda's
Maybe when she died, it
it broke
allowed
the
her
spell.
to get out.
Come
Who
on,
knows?
guys.
Wait, so the show doesn't take place
Come on,
like
guys.
in Salem, Massachusetts.
We don't know.
in the
We don't know
60s.
yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
It
don't
might
know.
take place
it's
in
not a
Westview.
prequel.
It might
might
be
be
like
a
New
prequel.
Westview.
But
Yeah. It might be. Who
'Cause
knows?
maybe-
Maybe it'll be
I
like
mean-
WandaVision 2, and she'll be doing her own thing in Westview.
Yeah.
Uh,
oh,
Because I mean, the subtitle kind of makes me think maybe it takes place in like in
Chaos.
1600s.
In a
It's like Salem.
I'm here to kill chaos. That's a random reference.
Uh,
Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy. It's like
and then
killing chaos.
after Agatha, we have another Disney Plus TV show, which everyone blew their minds on this one.
Yeah, we just briefed it up.
Daredevil,
Yeah,
Born Again,
yeah. We like teased it. Now that's the full big. Yeah,
with 16 or 18
18
episodes.
episodes.
18
Don't
episodes.
shortchange it. 18 episodes.
Charlie Cox.
Vincent
Coming back.
D'Onofrio, and then Lord knows who else is showing up too.
We'll see if Foggy comes
I think
back.
Eldon
Foggy
Hansen
and
is
Karen.
rumored to come in, but we don't have a confirmation yet. But
Yeah, Foggy and
Eldon
Karen
Hansen needs to roll
and-
up.
I'm sure maybe we'll get more casting details and
Senor
stuff
Foggy?
in D23 for all
Senor
these shows.
Foggy. Yeah, man. It's
They don't need to show any trailers or anything. I'm sure if they just go through announcements like casting,
Mhm.
that'll be
It's out-
pretty
that would be-
exciting.
it's less than 2
Pretty-
years away.
pretty
It's less
sweet.
than
I
2
think
years away.
I heard that there was a rumor that maybe even Jessica Jones might appear in.
And She-Hulk.
From She-Hulk.
Okay, well, in She-Hulk, but
There's been rumors that She-Hulk will have a lot of cameos.
Yeah.
Lots
But
of
keep in
cameos.
mind, Doctor Strange also had those rumors.
I mean,
so-
Wong shows up
Well, I mean,
apparently in
they
in
did
She-Hulk.
have some cameos, just
Yeah,
not
that's
the,
hilarious that
the
Wong is
50
there.
cameos that people wanted.
it's the Wong universe now, guys.
It's the
Wongverse.
yeah
Phase
the-
Wong.
Wong cinematic. It's the WCU, not the MCU. They just inverted the M to be W,
nice.
so it's the Wong cinematic universe.
Wong's a boss.
I agree.
I think that's the name of the episode, right, guys? Just the
Wong's the boss?
SDCC. Wong is the boss,
Oh,
or
okay.
Phase Wong.
the Wongomatic universe.
Oh my god. So
I'm
then-
never gonna stop.
After spring 2024, we got a Captain America New World Order.
Hell yeah.
Watch them change the subtitle like they did
They
with
might.
the Super Society.
And it'll be Civil War 2.
Second Civil War.
So that's coming out in May of 2024.
That's hype. Give me more Anthony Mackie as Captain America. Make it happen.
I'd be excited for that. So
Yeah.
Chris Evans?
Maybe we'll find out. I
maybe
mean,
it's Nazi Captain
More
America.
Nazis. What is this, Indiana Jones?
Chris Evans comes back as Nazi Captain America, or like
Oh,
Hydra Captain
Hail-
America.
Hydra,
Hail Hydra
where it
Cap.
says Hail Hydra.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's a whole thing in the
that
comics.
was fun in the
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah. My
Now that
favorite
they
was
have multiverses. You never know.
yeah. Someone trying to bring up another New
And-
World Order post blip.
He was a villain in The Gray Man, so I
That-
could see it.
That's Dash.
Lloyd. That was.
That's Dash.
He's also a villain in Scott Pilgrim. He's like Lucas Lee, the coolest guy. You can't grind that rail.
And
Oh,
then
man.
the final movie to end Phase 5 comes out in July of 2024, and that's for the Thunderbolts.
That was
Which was
hype.
a surprise.
Holy hell! I was so happy that they do that. I hope they do like some great thing honoring William Hurt, as being Thunderbolt Ross.
I'm sure they will. Because
But
it's probably the team is going to be headed up by, what's her face? Seinfeld?
Contessa, yeah, the Contessa Valentina de Fontaine.
Mm-hmm.
What-
Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
It's
sorry.
cool that it ends Phase 5 with a team-up movie,
Yeah,
but not the team-up
not
you
that
think.
you expect. Yeah, it's a
So-
team of villains. Like,
That'll be cool. Their own little Suicide Squad.
So it'll be like,
who do you think the
Bucky,
lineup's gonna be?
Bucky,
You think Bucky's gonna
maybe
roll
No.
in that?
We
Yelena?
got U.S. Agent,
Yelena, maybe?
Yeah, you have
Yelena.
yeah.
Because
Yelena
she had it
Belova,
in-
U.S. Agent, Abomination, Baron Zemo.
Zemo.
Would Echo fit in there? I don't know.
Wait, for Thunderbolts?
Echo could be
I
maybe.
always thought Thunderbolts were supposed to be anyone with like the Hulk Gamma.
No,
maybe.
those are just villains. Thunderbolts are usually like it was like Marvel's Suicide Squad, sort of, but they were villains that got
Bad
that
guys
became
doing
their own
bad guys doing good.
bad guys doing sort of good things.
Okay, because then what am I thinking of then?
because you're
It's like
thinking
Red Hulk, Abomination Hulk,
you're thinking
Gray Hulk, like all those characters.
That's
Women are
Taskmaster.
gray.
She's probably
there
gonna
was a
be in
show.
it.
There was an animated
She
show
probably
called
would
Hulk
be in
and the
it because
Agents of Smash.
She's still alive.
Maybe
You're
I'm
probably
maybe I'm
thinking of that.
Maybe I'm
but-
thinking of that.
The Thunderbolt. Well, Thunderbolt Ross was Red Hulk in the comics.
Yeah.
But normally, like the Thunderbolts are usually just like bad guys. And then there was a point where, in is it not Secret Empire, but it was a point where Norman Osborn in the comics took over Shield. I think he named it Hammer. But then he took over Shield, and then basically they had like a sort of like Dark Avengers. That's what they were. They're Dark Avengers. So Hawkeye was Bullseye. You had like Red Hulk. One of the Hulks or one of the Gamma, like Abomination was the Hulk.
A-Bomb.
Yeah, they call him A-Bomb. That's the point. That's another
Maestro,
Gamma
maybe? Was
stuff.
Maestro also one of them?
No,
No.
you're thinking of the Maestro. You're talking about other personalities of the Hulk.
Wait, yeah, that's like
There's
is that
Grey Hulk,
multiverse, or?
Mr. Fix-It. No, that's just all the
Oh, yeah,
personalities
Joe
in
Fix-It.
Hulk's head. Yeah,
Joe Fix-It. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Joe? No,
Joe.
yeah,
It's Joe Fix-It. Yeah, Joe
Yeah, Joe
Fix-It.
Fix-It.
Maybe
The
we get,
Maestro.
a Deadpool.
Maybe
but
that
not,
will get
but
in a
not
second.
phase 5 though,
Not in
right?
phase
'Cause
5.
Thunderbolts ends phase
Ends
5.
phase
Yeah.
5.
And when is Thunderbolts? Do they-
2024.
So they don't give a date. They don't give a month
July 25th.
of 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, so phase
Okay.
6 is mid 2024.
Oh, they might even have a chance to bring in Taskmaster
Phase
too.
6
Yeah.
starts fall
be
of
dope.
2024.
Nice.
Bringing
And what is
Taskmaster
phase
again.
What is phase 6 starting with, my
Start
boy?
with-
Starts with in November of 2024. Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Six.
So there's something
4.
that comes out before Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah?
there's one slot that's
Oh yeah, because yes, I remember.
The Spider-Man. What? Sorry.
There are a lot of things.
I don't know
in
Spider-Man.
Phase
Yeah.
6 that weren't
Yeah.
announced.
There are a lot of but
well,
the
I'm sure
things
they're
we-
holding it off.
Yeah, the things we did get announced was pretty out of hand.
D23.
We got some
Maybe.
stuff that was out of hand. So we got Fantastic Four, which we have a date for.
So yeah, Feige was like, "I'm gonna tell you what starts Phase 6 and then what's gonna end Phase 6."
Nothing in between.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
hype. And then what ends Phase
And
6?
then what ends Phase 6 is 2 movies. We got Avengers: The Kong Dynasty
Kang.
coming
Nice.
out May 2nd of 2025.
The Kang
Sweet.
Dynasty. That's just like Jonathan Majors is going to be putting in a lot of work.
Yep.
This is going to be awesome.
And then the crazy one is Avengers: Secret Wars,
Dude,
which
6 months later,
I don't even know.
November of 2025. 2025 is going to be
bonkers.
Ridiculous.
Bonkers. That alone is blowing
That-
my mind
but-
because of the possibilities.
And-
Because if you go to Secret Wars in the comics, like that's nuts.
And the thing is, there are
They're back to
movies
back.
or shows in between,
in between. Yeah.
either in between those
Well,
movies,
there's-
and there's a bunch of them in between Fantastic Four and the Kang
Yeah.
Dynasty.
So in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, you have 2 projects. One in both of them in summer. So it could be a
There's
TV
probably
show
a show and a movie.
and a movie.
Yeah, there's going to be something
Or maybe
else.
2 TV shows.
Something
but-
else
Might-
is going
maybe.
to be put in there. Something else is getting dropped
Loki
in.
season 3 or something. Like that.
Maybe if they want to tie into the Kang Dynasty, but
But I like I was seeing what Kevin Feige had to say about it, and it made a lot of sense. I thought it was pretty cool how he said for Phase 4, 5, and 6, which is now called the Multiverse Saga,
Mhm.
he didn't want to do an Avengers movie every 10
At
months.
the end of the
every,
phase.
Every
Yeah.
phase. And he wanted to build up to something towards the end of Phase 6, build everything together
Yeah.
to get a
Yeah,
final
because this
conclusion.
is the first time that we're not getting an Avengers movie at the end of 2
Each phase.
phases.
Yeah.
It's
or
like at
or
the
in
end
each
of,
phase.
Yeah.
Because remember,
in each phase.
yeah, because Phase 2 Ant-Man technically ended.
Yeah, because like we
Yeah.
were saying either last week or a few weeks ago that, in Phase 1, how many movies did it take to get to Avengers?
Phase 1, there
5?
were a total of 6 movies,
Right,
including
and
Avengers.
so Feige was pretty much saying is like now since they're doing so many more projects, if we did an Avengers movie after 5 projects.
It's
It would
just
be
too much.
in the middle of like at the end of 1
Yeah.
year because they do
Well, 'cause even
8
then-
projects a year or something like that.
Even then, we had it was a 3-year gap between Avengers and Avengers: Age of Ultron,
Mhm.
and during that time we had like was it 8 movies, maybe 8 9 movies almost
I don't know.
for Phase 2.
Because back then I think they were still doing around 2 movies a year.
with no shows.
Right.
with no
Yeah.
shows.
But
So-
now, I mean, they could still do an Avengers movie every 2 or 3 years if they wanted to.
But they're not going to.
they could. I mean, they don't have to make it like the end of the phase, but it could be towards the end of the phase.
No, he
but
he
even
essentially
then-
He's
said
saying
that this
it's
is
gonna
how it's
be-
going to be now.
yeah.
That because they have shows and they have more projects going on, that he wants to use the Avengers movies to be the end cap of a phase.
Which
Which
I'm
makes
all
sense.
down for,
I'm for it.
because you get a
Yeah.
great build up to lead up to some awesome events
Especially
like
if
Secret
you're gonna
Wars.
have 2 huge
Yeah.
movies at the end of the phase.
Because I can see where we're doing like what they did with Infinity War.
Yeah,
and
it's like
Endgame.
part 1, part 2.
Have a part 1, part 2. I mean, in this case, those were 1 year apart. This is going to be
6 months
5
apart.
or 6
Yeah.
months apart.
So they're obviously going to film them together.
For now,
Yeah.
I mean,
Who knows?
there's been plenty of times where they've
Just
shown
change it.
these slates
and then they
and then they
change
change things
Surprise.
shift around. So, it's possible that one of them stays where it is and the other one comes out a couple months later.
Because I do feel like maybe I feel like they're
I'd say it's more possible that Secret Wars gets bumped to the following summer
yeah.
than Kang Wars getting bumped.
Because
If they have
I
to
would
bump it.
I would
Right.
hate seeing only one Avengers movie or even just 2 Avengers movies per saga. If they do that, because I would like having maybe at least 3.
But if you
Avengers
think about
movies.
it, this saga started last year, 2021. And so really you're only waiting 4 years and you're getting 2 huge movies at the end of the 4 years. Whereas
And-
before
but-
we were waiting almost like 3 years for one, right? 2.5 years to 3 years for
And then-
one.
Yeah.
Also, he did mention a lot of these projects are going to have some team ups and some
Yeah.
They have their
people
own
crossing
things
over.
going on.
So
I just hope that doesn't detract from like the main character. Like for
Yeah.
example, like let's say I'll use a perfect example. Echo. Like that's okay. Like this is a kind of like it's a side character getting their own thing. Like give that character the chance to shine and not be overshadowed by
Daredevil and Kingpin.
Yeah, because like in the end, and this is tying into what the idea is that like the person we want to tie in all the street level people should be Daredevil
Mhm.
because he looks like the most experienced. He's doing his own thing, and then hopefully, if Sony lets play ball, they can also tie in Spider-Man.
They will. In an interview, he said that he acknowledged Spider-Man as part of the street level people, like
Yeah,
Daredevil. He said those words, and
Yeah.
he said like we're gonna
street-
see those
street
people
level
together.
heroes.
And it
So that
makes
will be
sense
sweet.
now, especially after what happens in No Way Home.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
So the
He's-
next Spider-Man movie, most likely,
Like-
you'll
like
have
Maybe like some kind of
Daredevil or
like
other
Defenders
characters.
or like something
Yeah.
similar.
yeah,
to,
you
to
can
that
do
could
a New
easily be
Defenders.
the next Spider-Man movie. It'll be like Spider-Man / Defenders,
Yep,
Could be.
which would be sweet.
that would be
Well,
so cool.
Announced earlier today, a bunch of news outlets were saying that the director for Kang Dynasty is the
Destin
director
Daniel
from
Cretton.
Shang-Chi.
Yep, that
So-
guy,
Which is
and
awesome, man.
it's awesome. He
Good for
can
him.
handle the action. He
He
can handle
did-
the spectacle.
Awesome job in Shang-Chi. So
Yeah,
I'm all aboard.
dude, and that's
So that's imagine. So they already announced that now, and that movie's coming out 3 years from now. Because for a movie that big, you have to start getting it
Yeah.
ready.
And
Yeah.
So that means-
D23, we're going to be getting a bunch
That
of
means
stuff.
pretty recently we're probably gonna get an announcement for Secret Wars. Whoever's gonna be doing that too, because that movie's probably gonna be even bigger, and
Yeah.
they need time to.
And this
to
is gonna
film
be this is gonna be so.
and it's not going to be the Russos.
Both
They
of those
confirmed
movies are
that.
gonna probably start filming next year.
Thinking about it now, I can kind of understand now why
Planning
we're
will
only
start next
getting
year.
No.
the 2 Avengers movies and they're back to back, because when you look back at the Infinity Saga, that was 11 years.
Yeah.
This is 5 years.
Yeah.
For an entire saga.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
5 years,
Half the time.
with
with the
double
whole
the
double the
projects.
content.
Triple probably.
4 years, not even 5, 4 years.
2021,
I think,
2022.
so-
5 years.
The only person I guess like that's not Feige and like the main like kind of writers and story planners that knows that kind of is guaranteed to have his hands and feet in almost everything at this point might just be Jonathan Majors, because they're gonna need to tap him into everything.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
do
you
you
know he's
gotta
gonna be
show
in
up.
Ant-Man, and who knows how many other projects.
Do you
he's
guys
gonna
at
think
be
least
that
Kang
maybe-
Dynasty and Loki. Hopefully Loki season 2 somehow.
Mhm.
Like that's nuts. Like that's blowing my mind.
Do you guys think that maybe they might tease something like a credit scene maybe of Kang in Black Panther?
never know.
That's gonna
Maybe.
maybe, but it'd be hard to tie in. We have to know what's going on in that movie first in order to figure that out.
Hopefully, instead of King, it might be Doctor Doom.
Maybe Doom, something Latveria related.
That would be.
Or maybe. Oh, you know what?
cool.
Speaking of Black Panther, I mentioned to you guys the other day how I would be, or how like they could introduce some characters, and I mentioned that they can introduce one character in particular that could also start introduce or start a sort of domino effect of adding or cameoing other similar characters throughout like the rest of like phase 5 and 6 and stuff. So in the comics, T'Challa does marry Storm.
Mhm.
Correct.
So this could be an opportunity for them to maybe throw in
A mutant or
Storm?
two.
But
throw in
if
Aurora.
T'Challa's not gonna be there, then
She doesn't have to marry
yeah,
anybody.
she doesn't ha- yeah,
she
she
just
doesn't
has
have
to
to be
be
there.
Storm.
Yeah.
She
She
just has
like-
to, I mean, she is related to the character in that sense that they were married in the comics. So they can
has to be
introduce
an
Aurora,
Monroe.
and then that could be another like what they did with
I think she was in Kenya, but whatever.
I'm not too sure, but I mean even
That is
then,
not,
like,
that's
it's
not,
still
that's irrelevant.
still the same
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
the same continent.
Well-
Like how
well-
they brought in like
That's problematic. Sure.
Wanda and Pietro as enhanced when they're really like
Yeah, well, they're enhanced
mutants.
because they were experimented on. Like,
but
this
instead of being mutants, they're enhanced. But now,
now they have because of spoilers, because
Yeah.
of Ms. Marvel, they're able to say that there are mutant.
well, not even with
There could be an X gene that gives
yeah
them
yeah.
mutant abilities to do stuff.
But even with like WandaVision, you have Evan Peters from X-Men, from the Fox X-Men
yeah,
franchise.
but he played
that
someone
was a
random.
troll,
Ralph
man.
Boner.
That was
But he
a,
was-
that was a troll.
But he was still Quicksilver.
He
Quote
was.
unquote.
he
He was still
but
that.
was just Wanda, doing stuff with her subconscious mind.
Well, it's still
And
like,
Agatha.
he's
They
like
just-
like
He
And
pulled
Agatha.
from another
Yeah,
universe
Agatha.
and grabbed
Yeah, Agatha at
another
that point.
Pietro from another universe.
but he's still
and called him Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner.
but he's still and for all for argument's sake the same character from the X-Men films.
Yeah, it could have been.
Could have been, could have not been.
So that
matter.
so that being another cameo, and then of course we have Charles Xavier in Multiverse of Madness, and then now the reference in the finale of Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that remains to be seen because I still think I like that it seemed kind of played for sort of throwaway when
not really a mutant,
she's just
but-
she's like, oh, immune. It's like, yeah, it's just another label and it's cool because it's tying to the character. Like there's so many things that she is as an other, or some other type of person. Like no, like I'm like still me. Like I'm just gonna chill and be me. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be dope.
And then Black Panther now gives us that that opportunity to throw in Aurora.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or just Namor because Namor is
But
like
he's
the first, technically
he's-
like the first mutant. Or
yeah, he's a Atlantean /
yeah, he's
mutant
aquatic.
hybrid.
Yeah. Correct.
So-
Even though technically the first mutant is Apocalypse, but that's another story. It's not the Oscar Isaac project I want to reference right now.
Yeah, the first mutant like written in like Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's so much.
It'll
like,
be cool to see where Moon Knight
Fits in.
kind of fits into all
I
this.
think Moon Knight's got to fit into like with stuff with Blade,
Blade.
and maybe
Werewolf by Night?
Agatha. What?
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by
Yeah.
Night, if that rolls up into something. Another
Well-
Phase 6 project that's not in there, like because Kang might be the master of all this, all the science and all the interdimensional and all the space and time
Oh, yeah.
travel. But they may need mystical arts to try to stop that. In which case, they'll need people like Blade. They'll need Doctor Strange and who's off doing other stuff with his third eye and Clea. Like who knows? Like
Well, some of the other projects that we still haven't seen but have had rumors on, like Shang-Chi 2.
that has that subtitle. I don't know if I'd believe that. But
Yeah.
that what was the subtitle for that one? It's like something like something time.
Oh, the trademarks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
well, I
trademark.
don't know
I don't know
what
about.
the-
I don't
Well,
know about
I
all
don't know
those.
about the
But
trademarks.
even before that, they
But I'm saying,
announced
like,
that they
they-
were gonna do a Shang-Chi 2
Shang-Chi
at
2,
some
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Also,
Armor Wars.
like we were talking about Armor
Armor
Wars,
Wars.
that it
Oh,
wasn't showed up here.
Yeah, it didn't show
about
up.
Don
which was-
Cheadle.
My boy
Gonna
Don
have Don
Cheadle.
Cheadle in it.
Yeah.
I
Um,
hope Sam Rockwell shows
we
up.
Justin
might
Hammer would
get
be
a
awesome.
we might
Oh,
get
Sam Rockwell's great.
So good.
we might get like a Deadpool 3 maybe, or
No, not might. That's
That's
for sure.
confirmed.
100%
Some-
confirmed.
Yeah.
X-Men movie in Phase 6. So there's a lot of stuff.
Possibility.
Yeah. So
We'll know,
this just
D23.
this just got the ball rolling for so much hype and excitement. It's almost it's just palpable to kind of see just like people cheering. Like if you see like some of the leaked videos of just like those little things, but more importantly is just like I think all the collectively like the fandom, the moviegoers, like if some people are like, oh, there's a bit of fatigue, understandable fatigue. I think it's a lot of the superhero stuff going on in terms of film, and if, it's just kind of a pre-canned kind of process that we just kind of go through, put them in the machine, kick them out. But we're still seeing a lot of good. I think I'm hopeful that there's a lot of creativity still in there, like with Ryan Coogler and Wakanda Forever. People being able to play around. Obviously, hopefully, we're getting different tones with Quantumania. We still don't know what's going to happen with like Blade and Fantastic Four. They're willing to
No
just-
director announced either
Yeah,
for Fantastic Four.
nothing yet.
Not
So.
yet.
But then like the TV shows are still out. I think that's where the big creativity and stylistic changes are going through, and I'm hoping that more and more of that stuff happens to make them their own unique thing to then bridge kind of the big tempo movies together. I'm hoping for that. I'm guess one of these marks where just like, hey, if you guys are coming out with content, give it to me. Like I want it. Like just give it all up for here. So it's gonna be a tough wait. Hopefully an entertaining journey to get to the end of 2025 to see what this all culminates in.
For sure going to be a fun 3 years of Marvel content.
Oh yes.
There's going to be a project for everyone, so
Yep.
always got something to look forward to. So
Exactly. With that, any final thoughts, gentlemen? And I kind of just shared my stuff in there too. but anything
Woohoo!
else?
I'll say
Ooh
We
wee!
I'm glad. I'm
We
glad
s-
that they showed more than they
Yeah.
said that this is the end of Phase 4 because we were talking about Phase 4 is kind of meandering.
Meandering. We need a setup. I was saying like I called
Yeah.
it. I was like, oh, it's got to be set up for stuff. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
all
is.
set up, but they
where's the setup?
so
going?
now it's like
Well-
flat out. It's just set up because he's like, no, this is the end of Phase 4 because Phase 5 and 6 is where it seems like
I'm
the-
sure
the
we'll
yeah,
get
crap will-
because
something.
even
all
still
the
then,
crap will
like
happen.
nothing has really connected to this.
Mhm.
I'm
this
sure we'll
phase,
get some
so.
big
yeah, it's a
things
resetting
in
of
She-Hulk
tables.
and
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever. So.
Yeah, a resetting of the table here now, and then now you take with the pieces on the table in phases 5 and 6, throw in some other newcomers, see where that lands, and we go from there.
It felt like
very exciting.
This felt like an interlude, not so much of like a
Yeah,
like.
Fair enough.
everything-
that's fair. Yeah,
Which is good
entertaining
just
still.
to see where everyone's at.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Yeah.
But we said it here first weeks ago. Steven Spielberg is going to be announced for Fantastic Four.
Dude.
That would be so random and awesome.
Yeah. There are some arguments to be like that they could do better than Spielberg, and I'm just
No.
like, hold up.
No,
Who
no,
said
no.
that?
It's because like better for like the tone or what they want for the film and stuff. Like just
Spielberg.
No,
don't just
just
get a big
Spielberg,
name
yeah.
for it, but Spielberg.
This
Spielberg
man-
can
'cause he
handle it.
has-
He
Hasn't-
says, "I'll do a movie," and then he does an awesome movie.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
He did a musical which he had never done before, and it was a remake of probably one of the most beloved
Iconic.
musicals and iconic musical, and he did an awesome job on it. So
and he's never done a superhero movie, right? So
Friendly reminder: go and watch Adventures of Tintin.
awesome.
There's no way
It's
Every
awesome.
time we bring up Spielberg, there's no way I'm not going to set this reminder to watch Adventures of Tintin. I swear, that
I love
movie
it.
is criminally good. It's criminally underrated. And so yeah, he can handle animation. He can obviously handle big giant tentpole. He can handle horror, loving family movies,
Sci-fi.
fun sci-fi. Kind of. What would we Catch Me If You Can? It's for like like a caper like cat. Just fun like
Cat and mouse.
cat and mouse kind of thriller, like fun thriller, like light upbeat thriller. He didn't do serious with Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan. So the man is a master of his art form. He can make it happen.
maybe instead of Fantastic Four, he does Secret Wars.
That's a bit much. Not much for him, but it's just like you need to give him something that he can still mold it and make it his own instead of just like having a culminated set piece of all these different things. That'd be really hard. And I don't see Spielberg wanting to have to juggle all those pieces and fit them together. I think a clean slate is something that he can play with when it comes to Fantastic Four. It makes more sense.
And at least that, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Marvel. They're gonna get one of the biggest directors ever to do one of the biggest movies ever.
or maybe
With one of the most biggest
maybe-
properties that they have.
or maybe X-Men whenever they do it.
Could be too.
X-Men.
But I mean, I think right now it's just like more Fantastic Four rumors, but we'll see what
Yeah.
happens over the next few months. Maybe they'll announce something at D23, but
Mid-September.
gonna know.
Mid-September.
Mid-September,
But
we'll get more news.
We got a lot to look forward to. So
Indeed, everybody. As you view or listen, ideally listen to the podcast, please share your thoughts. What you're most excited for when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con news. If you wanted to see other small news that got picked up from other TV shows that we didn't really mention too much of, or some things like What If Season 2, the I Am Groot miniseries, Spider-Man Freshman Year, talk about shoot a line us at our social media through Twitter, Popcorn Watchlist, or Instagram, again Popcorn Watchlist. Also check up, leave the comments on YouTube for some of the fun clips. But this was really fun, gentlemen. The hype is still alive, the train keeps on rolling. Fun times in the movies and at your nice fancy screens at home will be had. So here's looking forward to it. And stay tuned, everybody. So for next time, we're going to have a really fun episode on all devoted to our recently watched, because you may have noticed we did not have that segment today, but we're going to have next week's episode be all about some of the fun stuff we watched over the last 2 weeks. So thank you again for tuning in and listening. We really appreciate it. Again, follow us on our social media pages and avenues. Interact with us. It's going to have a lot of fun. Let's keep it out of everybody and keep that popcorn popping. Thank you so much, everybody. You have a great time and catch you later.
later, guys.
See ya.
Disney, take my money.
Money!